I want to thank all of you for being here today. This is a very, very important, I guess you could say, announcement that we're about to make for the Iona Tupa'i administration. Why? Because this involves probably the most important issue that we are facing today and in the future if we don't have a solution to it. It's about a long-standing issue that has been with us at least for the last 10 to 20 and 30 years. In fact, I've had some realtors say, in fact, I had a union official state to me the other day. He says he's been in the union for 40 years. And for 40 years, he's been talking about affordable housing, affordable housing, affordable housing. So this is a very, very important announcement. And we believe that as Republicans, we have the solution. So the Hawaii Home Ownership Initiative is research-driven and goal-oriented. The objective is to focus on local residents with the understanding that home ownership is essential to financial stability for Hawaii's people. At this point, I really want to emphasize something. 50 to 60% of our local people live on a month-to-month check. What does that mean? That means they could be without a home tomorrow, next year, or within the next several years. Now, through discussion and consultation with many of Hawaii's housing developers, realtors, engineers, architects, stakeholders, and in particular, longtime local affordable housing developer Peter Savio, it's confirmed. Our government leaders at all levels, federal, state, and county, have failed to provide the solution to Hawaii's affordable housing and rental crisis. So as the gubernatorial nominee of the Hawaii Republican Party, I think it is essential that we as Republicans take responsibility for Hawaii's affordable housing and rental crisis and provide the solution to this long-standing issue that has only gotten worse. I'm going to emphasize this issue can be solved, and we have the solution. Let's start with the problem. The problem is with the Hawaii real estate market and the effect that outside influences are having on housing prices and availability. The Hawaii Home Ownership Initiative is the solution to the purchase of affordable homes and rentals. And the solution will be achieved by the following. 1, preserving and growing affordable housing for local residents. The solution is to not only increase the supply of housing, but to make sure it is preserved for our local market through local wages. And this is accomplished by keeping the future sale of any affordable home at the same income range that it was purchased at, thus creating a local market by preserving the income range for all future affordable home buyers. 2, the creation and implementation of whole-of-government approach. And this is done by appointing a chief officer of affordable housing within the cabinet of the executive branch that is empowered to coordinate, leverage, and deploy all efforts and resources and execute cross-cutting measures directed to expeditiously build affordable homes. 3, create and enhance financial home buying programs. We want to enhance the hulume for buyers of affordable housing. And we want to transition governmental rental programs to tenant-owned. And lastly, to attract and empower local families, businesses, and individuals to create a hui to build affordable homes and rentals. A local hui of families, businesses, and individuals are encouraged to build affordable homes at a reduced profit to the state's reduction of their development costs by guaranteeing a portion of the development's financing. So how do we do that? The state will guarantee 100% financing with non-recourse lending. We will also enhance our HRS 201H statute and revisit the Land Use Commission's mission to assuring that proposed housing projects will benefit the people of Hawaii through affordable housing. It's our position that these steps ensures that the Hawaii Homeownership Initiative is sustainable and housing remains affordable for local residents beyond the first owners. Now, to kickstart this, we have the ability to do it and increase the supply of our homes for our local real estate market through the Department of Hawaiian Homelands. One, it should be noted that this is a housing market that is tied to local wages. And it's our firm belief that if we change the lease that our beneficiaries now have, which some describe as a crop shares lease because it has no value to it, to a modern lease which has value to it, the value through the lease provides the beneficiaries with the ability to obtain financing without a down payment. In addition, it provides equity so that they can use it for home improvements. Development and construction of DHL homes will release thousands of residential homes and rental units in the general market. And you add to this the current affordable housing developments that are now currently done or being done and are on the books, and the Hawaii Homeownership Initiative is a real solution for the people of Hawaii. Any questions? Yeah.
When you speak to developers, what are the biggest obstacles they face to developing housing projects, affordable housing projects? It takes a long time to go from blueprints to actual shovels in the ground. What's their biggest obstacle that they're facing to getting that done quicker so that more homes can be built?
Everything you just stated is accurate in regards to permitting, land use, hearings and contested case hearings, etc. But from my my discussion with them and my consultation with them, it's really financing. I think we just had a affordable housing project in Kapolei that was delayed. Now I think it's going to be 2 more years when it should have been. I think shovels should have been in the ground next month because of financing. They lost the financing. So that is one of their biggest obstacles for affordable housing. But our fourth point in regards to the hui is something that I think is it's not creative in a sense because it's been around for a while. We've lost that, and but I think that's really the answer to having more developers involved in affordable housing. That concept, the vision of that concept, is to actually create hundreds, if not thousands, of developers who have these small little huis that can do affordable housing. Because remember what I said now, 50 to 60% of our population is living month to month. That's something that's real. That's something that can happen today. And we can't have that, something that, hangs over our heads. So it's going to take this kind of leadership. It's going to take this kind of vision. It's going to take this kind of will to make it happen.
The 201H process, what are you thinking of revamping in that area?
Well, I think we can do a little more with that. I think it's being used, but it's not being used enough. And, we can supersize it maybe by maybe creating a little bit more incentives in regards to the roadblocks that they face, which was just mentioned here, with permitting and things of that nature. And maybe we have to specifically put that or delineate that in the statute.
So you would want the 201H process to cut through more red tape?
Yeah. Yeah.
You mentioned Hawaiian Homelands. Is there some kind of restriction restrictions upon, maybe having manufactured homes put in place and having a development of manufactured homes instead of, construction of building it from the ground up?
No, there's no restriction as far as I know, and I think self-built homes are part of that program, and I would strongly encourage that also because it brings down the price. But you remember now, we're building communities, right? And so we want to make sure that when we build these communities, that everybody's in tune. We don't want to have, a little, micro home here and then, self-build here. And I'm not saying that we have homeowners associations within the Department of Homelands, but what I'm saying is that I think with what I just mentioned in regards to the lease, the changing of the lease and the ability to finance now, that you're going to see some really quality homes being built and upkept, throughout the years.
Because you have communities on the mainland, you call them trailer parks, but they're like manufactured homes and they're all the same.
Yeah.
And it's all laid out and people, if it's lower to manufacture, there's lower to buy. And it's easier for people to get in and it's faster, it's quicker.
Yeah.
Is that something that you guys might?
I think that's really up to Hawaiian Homes and the owners, the beneficiaries, and how they want to develop their homes and move into their homes. That's not something that's going to be restricted. Remember, the focus of this is the solution to the affordable housing problem that we have right now, and the rentals. Let's not forget rentals now. So one thing I want to say about rentals is that the initiative that we have right now addresses that tenant, right? Tenant to own, tenant to owners, because home ownership is really, I guess you could say, the crux of this problem. When we have home ownership, when our residents have home ownership, they have wealth. And with that wealth now, they increase the quality of their life. We sometimes forget that the real value to home ownership is that we lock in one of the biggest costs that we have in the state of Hawaii, and that is what? Housing. So we lock it in. We lock in that price for 25, 30, 15, whatever the mortgage is, right? 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. It's locked in. It will never change. And in addition to that, once it's locked in and we're building our equity on it, we get more value, we get more wealth, right? And with that, we can enhance our lives accordingly. So at the end of 30 years, we don't have a mortgage. End of 25 years, we don't have a mortgage. End of 15 years, we don't have a mortgage. Where does all that money go? It goes to our wealth. We're building wealth. So that's the essence of why we say this is a solution. And this is why when I started and I said, what's the problem? I said the Hawaii real estate market. Because we're thinking about it, and this is where the Democrats go off on a tangent, because they're focusing on, and I'm not saying that it is not an issue, right? Permitting is, land use ordinances are, etc. They're problems. But when you just focus on that, and your ultimate goal is just to build, in the market, what does that do? It increases the price of the home. And this is why we have such a disparity right now between what's affordable, which ties into your local income or your income range, right? The local income range, and what we got on the market.
So is the idea with the rent-to-own program, it's for government rentals, if you're renting, then you're building equity and you have the option to buy.
Not the option. Not the option. You are putting that into that actual rental unit. So that's what you're putting your money into. In the end, to be able to see that's my unit. And this is why I firmly believe that when we talk about whether it's when the people say, well, renters they don't have the wherewithal to take care of the unit because it's not theirs. Well, when you're renting to own, now you got skin in the game, right? And now you're going to take care of that unit. And you're going to make sure that unit is upkept, is maintained, etc. And that enhances our market also, right? The quality of the homes and the rentals that we have.
Wouldn't that be removing some affordable rental units from the inventory for people that people could then move into?
No, not at all, because they're coming in and they're being able to use that. We're not changing the prices now, remember that. Nothing's being changed in regards to the pricing of it. It's going to remain the same, but the difference is you're able to use, the rent that you're paying for it, for the purchase of it down the line.
I've heard the term housing first thrown around in regards to homelessness. Would you consider this proposal a housing first solution, or what are your thoughts on that?
No. The housing first, if I understand it correctly, is strictly for the homeless issue that we're facing right now. And the concept behind that is if you put the homeless into homes, that's the biggest obstacle they have. And everything else that follows that, substance abuse, mental health issues, etc., will be taken care of because they're in a home. That's my understanding of what housing first means. This is definitely not a housing first project. Yeah.
Your first point on keeping the future sale value within a certain income range, how do you do that? I mean, the sale prices of
Good
homes
question,
is
please.
determined by the market, right?
Yeah. So this is going to take sacrifice on the people who are buying affordable homes, right? They're going to have to agree that we can put it in the deed that the future sale of that home will be done at whatever the purchase price was. So as you all know, in a lot of these projects, you will have affordable homes tied into the area median income, right, the AMI. And so it's whether it's 60%, 80%, or 100%. So when they purchase it, they're purchasing at that income range, right? So I'm at 80% AMI. I purchase it at that range. So in the deed, there'll be a restriction that it'll be in perpetuity. It'll be in that deed restriction for the length of that home, or the future of that home. So if you sell it, some people won't sell it, they'll keep it. But if you do sell it, it'll be sold at that AMI, that area median income, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 10 years from now. And it's just a thing you put in the deed. And so it does take sacrifice, because now instead of selling it at what the market may have 30 years down the line at 100%, I'm talking about market value, you're going to sell it for what it would be worth at 80% AMI. You're still going to have the appreciation and everything that goes along with it, but it's not going to be as much as it was. So it's sacrifice on all of us. I mean, we talk about that. We talk about keeping our local market local. We talk about taking care of our local people and making sure homes are affordable. Well, this is the way it is, because you can't put a price on affordability. I mean, people say, well, what is affordable? You just can't, because that's the market. The market is complex. So you can't say $400,000 is affordable. It's affordable in Wailakahala. Is that affordable in Hawaii? So this is what defines affordable right here, the income range of our local market.
So it's basically to make sure that if somebody buys an affordable unit, they can't go out and flip it for a profit.
Correct. Well, they're gonna make a profit on it, but it's not gonna be at that market level. Yeah.
For those 50 to 60% of us who live paycheck to paycheck, what is your message to them with this plan?
Hey, thank you for that question. There's hope, guys. There's hope. But you're only going to get this. This is only going to happen if you vote Republican, if you vote for this administration. I can tell you right now, again, as I open this up, long-standing issue that has not been solved. It just hasn't been solved. That's the problem. You got Band-Aid approaches that have been happening year after year after year. And I can guarantee you, for those of you who you just talked about, if you don't vote Republican and you don't vote for this administration, 40 years from now, like that union leader, you're going to be talking about the same thing: affordable housing, affordable housing, affordable housing. Except it's not going to be in Hawaii. It's going to be somewhere else. And your only wish is that you can come home. I've heard too many stories about families where the children can't come back, the grandchildren can't come back. And it all ties into housing. This is why this is our main priority from day one. When Governor Iona and Lieutenant Governor Tupai are elected and we step into that office, this will be our priority, because it's that important. Thank you for the question. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. I do want to mention this. We are going to follow up on this initiative throughout the state. I know that there's probably many more questions, and when you go home today, you're going to say, well, wait, okay, I got a question here. But I think you understand the concept right now. You understand what we're talking about, and that this is a real solution. So we're going to be having town halls across the state, on Kauai, on Maui, on Hawaii Island, and of course on Oahu. It's going to happen, obviously, within the next 4 weeks. We'll probably have the last one in the middle of October, because we want to get this message out before the ballots drop, so you can make your informed decision, and you'll hear more about it. Okay? So I just wanted to let that be known. Thank you very much.